Good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. I want to just share with you all a little bit an exchange that I just experienced and how for me it became a through line to the really horrible and horrific incident that happened in New Zealand, which in any case is an extension of a number of terroristic and hate-driven acts happening around the world. So I went to get some juice, Saturday morning, make some breakfast around the corner at my grocery store, and it's colder today than yesterday for sure. So the bite in the air, my mood tends to move with the weather. Anyway, all that being said, I just got some juice, a little bit of a hot mango pepper sauce, and some Shirley biscuits. And if you're from the West Indies, you know Shirley biscuits. So it should have really been a very quick transaction. And I got to the line, and there is a granny right in front of me. And when I tell you all, she moving slow. She has to take the money out the pocket. And I realize that she's using one of the EBT cards, I think. And, then she takes out a rolled up piece of newspaper, opens it up to pull out cash and kind of count it, right? Again, if you're from the West Indies, you're used to this kind of transaction. Old people very set in their ways about how they keep their money, how they store their money, etc. And I could feel, I'm standing behind her, and I could feel that little thing that goes up behind the ear that's like, oh Lord, I'm going to be in this line for another 10 minutes, and I'm shifting from one leg to the next, and I recognize that I'm going to be there for a bit. All that being said, her bags are packed. She uses the card. She checks the money, and the girl says, "You're still $11.03 short." And I kind of heard it. I was trying not to. I don't like when people stand very close to me and are into what's happening with my transaction. So I was trying to also mind my business. But again, a much older woman moving slowly, and I could feel my own impatience bubbling up inside me. And then something about her movement made me think of my parents. And I've been struggling a lot lately with aging and what it does to the body and what it can potentially do to the mind. I've recently come up with something that I call questions for the great designer concerning his coding. And the questions that I would ask God, the great grand universe, whatever you want to call it, should I ever come face to face. And I realized, wow, okay, I'm standing in this line, I'm being exceptionally impatient and intolerant. And why? Because I feel like I am being inconvenienced. I don't have anything to do for the next 2-3 hours, but I feel like I am being inconvenienced because I have to stand in the line and wait for this senior citizen to do something that takes her longer. The woman being on the planet longer than me. I could hear from her accent. She's an immigrant and probably has worked her behind off her entire life. Work her ass off her entire life. And I feel that I am being inconvenienced. And that makes me uncomfortable. And that makes me impatient. And that makes me intolerable. And all these things start flooding into my brain, and I realize this is exactly the birthing and the seeding of hate. Like, it hit me with a real sense of heartbreak. When your comfort level gets impinged on, it makes you angry and it makes you defensive. There's no doubt about it. When you're inconvenienced, that feeling behind your ear, at least for me, of being put in a place that means that my schedule is somehow or the other wrinkled. And it begins, the massive intolerance and hate begins as a teeny tiny seed that looks like a lack of patience, a lack of tolerance. I don't really like the word tolerance, but because sometimes tolerate can have a negative connotation, but I'm certain you know what I mean. And standing right there in that line, I imagined, gosh, imagine that I am this fella in Australia, and a Muslim family is in front of me, and they maybe are paying a bill with their children clamoring around them, and I am absolutely incensed because 1, I feel I should be served first. 2, you're slowing me down. 3, where you come from? Why are you talking so? I could become, you succumb to those kind of feelings and imagine what you could become. So I made a choice. I say, I could take a deep breath and understand that in fact I'm not being inconvenienced at all. Now mommy owes, the old lady owes $11 on her thing. She doesn't have the money. She starts slowly taking things out the bag. I say, no. Please, let me just pay for what she owes. I did that. I took her bags. She was going across the street, and I helped her take the bags out the store. And the generation of a different feeling that occurred inside to me was miraculous, because my brain, I could feel the synapses in my brain operating in a whole different, loving, accepting, communicable way than what I was feeling standing behind her. She was moving forward just by making a shift and a choice about how I was going to take on my position in that line. I walk her across the street, and as I'm giving her her bag, she looked up at me and she said, "It's not easy when you're going." And I said, okay. And then she put her hand on me and she said, "It's not easy when you're going. It's easy when you come. It's easy when you come in. But it's not easy when you're going." And I understood what she was saying, that you come apart, right? You age, you get older and you get slower. And many of them are well aware that they're moving at a slower pace than the rest of the world. And I just handed her the bags and I said, "I hope you have a wonderful day." She thanked me, and I walked away feeling like this is a message or a situation I want to share, just to say and emphasize that in every moment where we feel pushed back against, where we feel uncomfortable, we have a choice to make a different decision. It will not happen every time. We are humans, right? Sometimes we have to succumb to quote unquote negative feelings. But more than likely, in certain situations, you have a choice about how you will react, and if you're going to be a good human being and contribute to humanity, even if it's in the smallest way possible. Because the seed that is planted to create an oak tree is tiny. It is very tiny. And from it comes an enormous oak. So I just felt like I wanted to share that too. Oh, and one more thing. I walked into the house, I looked at my mail, and there was a royalty check in the mail. Instant payback for the $11. So it go. I just want us to love more and be better. And I'm definitely talking to myself here. Be kinder to each other. Learn about each other. And if you don't want to learn, mind your business and just still be good. But I tell you, the expansion and the enveloping that happens to your spirit when you make a chance to you take the opportunity to do something that works for both me and you, your whole brain feels different, your whole heart feels different, your whole body feels different. So I hope everybody has a chance to make those kind of choices each and every day. This is 10 minutes. I didn't intend it to be, but if you did watch from beginning to end, I hope that you share this moment with me and you have an opportunity to pay it forward. Love all you.